I would like to welcome from London Dr. Marcus Papadopoulos, the expert on international relations. Dr. Marcus, hello in Canada News. We're so happy we are joined by you. President Trump said, according to what he was described by his foreign secretary, what is related to a ceasefire in Lebanon is an agreement with unprecedented agreement or a decision with no something unprecedented. Israel, and since President Trump gave this statement, Israel did not wait for one day except was making a raid or killing, assassination, or even a violation of the Lebanon sovereignty. How do you read all of that?
Well, under the cover of the war against Iran, Israel has launched another illegal, unprovoked and barbaric invasion of Lebanon. And there is a specific reason as why the Israelis have launched another invasion of Lebanon. And it is for this reason. Israel is now actively pursuing Greater Israel. Indeed, numerous Israeli politicians have openly said so. The Israeli military has destroyed, I repeat, destroyed many villages in Lebanon, including Christian ones, in order to pave the way for Jewish settlements there. So now that the Israeli military is illegally occupying parts of Lebanon, it is very difficult to see how Israel will pull out. Why? Because regardless of what Trump says in public about the need to bring about a ceasefire in Lebanon, the harsh reality is that Trump is controlled by the Israelis. And as a result of that, Israel is more than ever before, more than under any other American administration, Israel is free to do what it wants. The Israeli military will not pull out of southern Lebanon. So there will be no permanent ceasefire. There will be no temporary truce to the fighting in Israel because Israel is pursuing Greater Israel.
You have mentioned a very important point, Mr. Marcus. So what Israeli call as Major Israel, according to some of the religious texts which they believe in, without even a historical investigation about that. But the problem right now, Dr. Marcus, the Israeli occupation forces are distributing radars in the depths of the Lebanese territories, which mean they are trying to surveillance or to find threats, but distributing military radars in the borders for another country. This, according to item 1, 2, 3, 4 in the international law, this is a clear blatant violation for the international law. So why the international community is silent on the Israeli violations in Lebanon and no critical decision was taken?
It goes to show once more that Israel is above the law. Israel is above the mechanisms of the United Nations, such as the United Nations Charter and international law in general. Israel, in full view of the world, invades Lebanon time and time again. Israel invaded Gaza, which is part of the state of Palestine, and conducted a murderous war, which resulted in mass murder against the Palestinian people. In Lebanon, the Israelis are destroying villages, are building a solid foundation for Jewish settlements there. The Israeli military, as you said, is establishing concrete installations. The Israelis are not shy in saying to the world that southern Lebanon is now part of Israel. And yet, where is global media to condemn Israel, to condemn their invasion of Lebanon, to condemn ethnic cleansing. The Israelis are committing ethnic cleansing in southern Lebanon against Muslim civilians and Christian civilians. They are destroying their homes. They are pushing them north. Where are the governments of the world? Not just Western governments, all Western governments. Where are Arab governments to condemn Israel's illegal, brutal behaviour? The answer is silence. There is silence from the rest of the world. And it goes to show how Zionism has its tentacles in all four corners of the world. That is the only explanation in accounting for silence.
Dr. Marcus, before speaking about this point, I would like to convey this image. If you are following the live stream of the channel in southern Lebanon, as we can see in this live footage coming from southern Lebanon, the Israeli occupation forces made a new Israeli raid again in the territory of southern Lebanon, particularly in the southern. The impact of the smoke, which we can see right now, explains that there was a bombardment few moments ago. This live footage we share with you from southern Lebanon explain that was an Israeli bombardment renewed again on the Lebanese territories. Dr. Marcus, back to you. Dr. Marcus, in light of this live lectures we are showing right now, which is a continuity for the Israeli occupation force behavior, as you have mentioned a very important point when you said that there is an international silence and also an Arab silence. Maybe we have a disagree a little bit here. The Arab world hasn't been silent. At least most of Arab countries were not silent on the Israeli violations. We have seen Egyptian condemnation with the Egyptian position, who have condemned all the illegal actions made by the occupation forces in Israel. But in your opinion, what makes the EU countries, or the majority of EU countries and US, what preventing them for not holding Israel accountable, or at least when the ordinary people, citizens, speak about the rejection for what the Israeli people are doing in anywhere, he is arrested in the EU countries. Why?
Well, first of all, allow me to very quickly say, I am known as a friend to the Arab people. When I talk about Arab silence, I'm not talking about ordinary Arabs. I'm talking about Arab governments. And quite frankly, there is silence. Oh, they offer token criticism. Well, why don't they sever diplomatic relations with Israel? That's a very important question. Now, turning to the European Union. The European Union is a staunch supporter of Israel. The European Union is a major component of what I describe as the Western ruling elites, or what most people describe as globalists or globalism. It follows, therefore, that publicly Israel, the European Union, like Arab governments, indeed like the Russian government, will criticize Israel for its actions, but that's it. The European Union will not follow up its criticism with, for example, sanctions. Look at the thousands upon thousands of sanctions that the European Union and the Western world in general has imposed on Russia over the war in Ukraine. Okay, fine. Then do the same to Israel, because Israel has launched an illegal, brutal and unprovoked invasion of Lebanon, where the Israeli military is ethnically cleansing the Arab population, Muslim and Christian alike. But no, the European Union does not impose sanctions on Israel. No, the European Union continues to send weapons to Israel. The European Union continues to send money to Israel. The European Union continues to provide cover for Israel at the United Nations. And of course, mainstream media in the European Union also provides cover for Israel. All of this comes down to a very simple fact, a very simple reality. Israel, through Zionism, has massive, enormous influence and power in the Western world, but quite frankly, in the rest of the world as well. As I said earlier, where is Russia to impose sanctions on Israel? Look at how the Soviet Union backed up its words with actions against Israel. But the current Russia does not do that because there is a very strong presence of Zionism in Russia. And that has been the case ever since the dissolution of the Soviet Union.
This will raise a lot of questions about the implementation of international law. I would like to thank you so much, Dr. Marcos Papadopoulos, expert on international relations and specialized on the Middle East affairs. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for your translations.